joined on the phone lines by Martin Kpebu, who was appointed onto the oral team, and obviously an anti-corruption campaigner, to further on explain what he thinks of this briefing that was given to us by the Attorney General. Senior lawyer, thank you so much for your time. You're welcome to Good Afternoon, Ghana.
Yes, good afternoon, Annie.
I'm grateful. Have you had time to go through? I know you didn't watch from the beginning, but have you had time to watch excerpts of the briefing? And what's your opening remarks of the briefing itself?
Well, I like the way the Attorney General termed this one as thriller in Manila. This is the thriller in Manila, the Muhammad Ali fight. And we should wait for the rumble in the jungle here in George Foreman, right? That happened in Africa here, Zaire, Kinshasa. So today's one is thriller in Manila. That's good. It brings excitement to the debate. But Annie, I must mention to you that right now I'm extremely concerned about the fact that now big political leaders of this our country are taking a go at each other on matters that now it's difficult to know who is saying the truth. You see, Dr. Ayine mentioned that Afenyo Markin was misleading the public with accusations that money was lost, etc., when they went to search the governor's house. Now, and you just played this in the clip of Jerry Ahmed Shaibu,
right,
MP for Wager, repeating that not everything went well with it, and he even adds that the National Security Coordinator had to apologize for what went on. So now we are left wondering who is speaking the truth. I think that there must be an impartial investigation into this matter. Otherwise, look, the national security is just denting their image too much. It's not good, because you can't have these two serious statements, right? First of all the allegations Afenyo Markin laid out. And then Ayine is saying those are false. Then Jerry comes back with another counter that even the National Security Coordinator had to apologize. Now, so who is speaking the truth? He says, she says. He says, she says. He says, she says. We must get to the bottom, because this is not good. It's needless. Listen, if somebody said some things that were untrue, I think, we can accept an apology, then we draw a line under it and move on. But the way now we are left in doubt is just not good for our democracy. It's not good at all. I think perhaps even the president has to come in. Let's have an impartial inquiry. Or if they want to avoid it, then the person who is been lying to us, whoever is not saying the truth, should perhaps come apologize for it, and then we can draw a line under it.
How do we do this, Martin Kpebu? How do we do this? Because the Attorney General received the docket, or the documents or information from oral team. They are proceeding to do what they are expected to do. Maybe you can explain to me further how the arrest of Edubuahin, for example, was illegal by your expertise. Maybe you can let us understand. Is it not the minority that has taken it upon itself to continuously, because a raid was conducted in the former finance minister's home. They held a press conference on it. Same with the former Bank of Ghana boss. They held a press conference on it. So you see that by the trend, it is a plan or a deliberate effort to speak against all the actions taken by this government in proceeding with investigating corruption and corruption-related activities.
Excellent. So you see, good. So that's one side of it. So you see it. But there are other perspectives. That's why I said, for the growth of our democracy, then let's do a commission of inquiry into it, so that we will know, just like the way we did for Ayawasu West Wogon Commission. Let's do for this one, because look, it is very embarrassing that minority leader says X. The government, extreme side denied it. Attorney General himself has come to deny. Then another minority member comes to even add more facts that there's been an apology. Look, I think we should get into the bottom of this. Let's have a public inquiry where we'll bring all the actors to come and show. So let's say, for instance, today, Jerry Ahmed Shaibu is saying that the apology was done on Jakpe's phone.
Behalf.
So under our law, the Commission of Inquiry will have power to ask whichever of the telcos to get the call record. Then we will see which number was being used. Then Dr. Addison will disclose his telephone numbers. Then they will check, was there a call made, around what time, etc. Even in extreme cases, if they want the content of the conversation, it can be obtained. So that we'll get to the bottom of it, because this is not good. It's not good for our democracy. We should leave politics aside. Whoever is lying on this occasion, I think the Constitution allows that the president will set up a commission of inquiry. Is that Article 278? Let's use it, because this is embarrassing for us as a nation. We can't continue like this. The politics has to stop somewhere, because you know that we all want to recover a lot of the loot that's gone on. You know, I was always on Akufo-Addo's neck, he and his appointees, that they were looting. Kennedy Japan said it, that they are looting like there's no tomorrow, right?
Yes.
So this is the time for us to recover. But as we are asking for recovery, the recovery too has to be done within law. So
in a clean manner.
Excellent. Yes. So now that there are these accusations and counter accusations, let's use the Commission of Inquiry route, where we'll do it publicly, so that we'll find out who has been lying to us, who is lying, which version is truth. We can't let this matter pass. It's not good, because you see, over the weekend on Saturday, we did the debates on this, and then today, so we thought that was the end of it. But today, look at what has come out. You see what Jerry Ahmed Shaibu is saying? So who is speaking the truth now? Who is speaking the truth? Let's activate the constitutional provisions. The president can do it. Parliament, you can call upon him to do it. Parliament by a resolution. Okay, maybe. So yes, once we all want the truth, it shouldn't be about NDC, MPP, right? So Parliament can ask for it. In the same way, the Council of State, good. Maybe we should call on the Council of State to step in. Yes, thank God, Sophie Kufuor is on the Council of State now. You know, she even said it before her swearing, that they'll be giving the president honest, independent advice. Yes, so this time we expect the Council of State to be more independent than we saw in the previous regime. Because, you know, people are asking questions about the Council of State, whether we should scrap it. Because there were times that we always say, we expected the Council of State to be like the elders of the town,
right?
Like our traditional setup, but we didn't see much of the Council of State in the previous administration. This time we expect to see much on them. We need elders in the town. Now that this thing is happening, if the president doesn't set up the Commission of Inquiry, I think we can petition the Council of State to come in. The MPs too can also do this. They can also pass a resolution in Parliament, so that we'll set up a Commission of Inquiry. This is not good. It's not healthy for our democracy. It's not healthy at all.
Speaking of the Council of State, you think that this time they can come with a neutral front, considering the fact that the Council of State also has in its, as a member of the team, a former Chief Justice who obviously is associated with the NPP government. Do you think that if the Council of State is also activated as far as this fight is concerned, it will push the fight forward positively?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, it will help, because once the Council of State agrees and advises the president that the Commission of Inquiry should be done, if the president will listen. That's if only he himself doesn't even do it ahead of the Council of State. Yes. And you see, so for Kufu, yes, it's related to Akufo-Addo, right? And she has said so publicly. Yes. So that's her affiliation. But if we also check the record, so for Kufu was appointed onto the Supreme Court by President Rawlings.
Yes.
So you would also hear that until Akufo-Addo appointed Sophie Kufu as Chief Justice, other people too would tell you that Sophie Kufu was more tilted. Her views were in accord with the views of the NDC. So for me, the fact that she was appointed by Akufo-Addo, I don't think that alone would disqualify her.
Enough.
If anything at all, you know, Annie, Sophie Kufu rather has been able to come out to criticize her own relation, President Akufo-Addo. Watch the DDEP. Sophie Kufu went to demonstrate. How many people of her stature in Ghana were able to stand up against Akufo-Addo? She went to demonstrate against the DDEP. That's the debt restructuring that was done. That brought on toll high ship killed people. People couldn't buy medication. People couldn't pay rent, etc. She went to demonstrate that no, this is wrong. There were other government policies. She came out, the lithium mines, etc. Even this morning, she's supposed to be giving a speech on the natural resources that the mining company should pay more. I went to court. I couldn't follow it. So if you check Sophie Kufu's profile, you will see that she did a lot under Kufuado. There are people who are even supposed to be opposition. They couldn't speak even 100th of what Sophie Kufu did. So for me, to the extent that she was very active, she spoke her mind and spoke for justice, etc. It's okay. It doesn't really matter that she was appointed by Akufo-Addo. People who say she was appointed as CJ by Akufo-Addo should remember that she was also appointed to the Supreme Court by President Rawlings. So they basically seem to cancel out.
But she still comes across with a balanced position. Anyway, so there was a question that was thrown back to the Attorney General's presser. There was a question that was thrown to him if he was under pressure. He said he answered positively, yes, he is under pressure, but it's not pressure from the political quarters, it's rather pressure from the people and themselves. He says it takes time to go on social media. He sees what's happening there. So he is under pressure, but that is under pressure in answering to the people's calls, which is why he deems it very important to be holding these press conferences. But do you think that the continuous process, as far as this investigation procedure is concerned, is advisable? Do you like it? Is it good? Does it foster inclusive governance?
Absolutely. So the last part, the process are good. Yes, the process are good. I know he's an investigator, yes, an attorney general, all right, and a prosecutor. He does both. And so they will usually tell you that the investigators shouldn't speak. When a case is under investigations, don't speak. He himself repeated it a number of times. So you see, he was trying to be careful not to disclose matters that were being investigated, etc. On the balance, I think the process are good. Once he's mindful that there is a thin line, he has to be careful not to run ahead of himself. I think we should do more of that. That is accountability. What he came to do, that's accountability, because he said what? The people are asking questions, social media, traditional media, etc. Yeah, and he's very good. When you send him a WhatsApp now, he would respond. There were times that I looked at and said, hey, then this man, he must be overworking. If you send him a WhatsApp message, in 3 hours, he comes back. Even with my level of responsibility, sometimes some messages, it takes me days to answer. So yes, I can see Ayene is working very hard. He should continue. He should engage us more so that let's see. You know, he did another brilliant thing. You know, the Nolly prosecutors that he entered. He brought out the reasons. Brought out copious reasons. The ones we were not happy about, we made it very clear. Remember the Collins Dowda matter? So that's a matter that we should keep watching. We made it very clear to him that the circumstances under which Collins Dowda's case was cancelled, that's the Sagleme project, no, we should do further investigations, because having paid over 200 million, did we get value for money? So we asked that there should be an independent panel set up to value what the work that was done at Sagleme, etc. You see, if he hadn't brought out the reasons and he had just simply said he has withdrawn the charges, he has discontinued, we wouldn't have had this opportunity to scrutinize. But once that happened, you see that we're able to see that no, that Collins Dowda matter, no, the money is too much. We want to find out, did we get value from this money? Okay, so let's go on with it. Throughout the what do you call it, the reasons he brought, the other cases, we saw that he discontinued the Japa case because of Godfrey Dame's ethical breaches. You see, we're telling him that he couldn't have spoken with Japa in the manner he did, trying to tell Japa to go and bring fake medical excuse duty, trying to coach Japa to go and lie to the court. So you see that now the Nolly prosecutor was done because of Godfrey Dame's prosecutorial breaches. So it goes down in our history that Godfrey Dame, whilst he was Attorney General, this is what he did. And eventually, even though the Attorney General filed an appeal to the Supreme Court, the successor came and stopped it because of Godfrey Dame's ethical breaches. You see, so it helped us. It moved our democracy forward. So any day, we would choose Dr. Ayene coming to engage us over a principle that an investigator should not talk.
Right. Now, on the issue of transparency, as I asked earlier, if you listen to Shaib, that's the honorable member, deputy minority chief whip, he alleged that the government is hiding behind its inability of fighting energy crisis, galamsey issues, and burning of fires, and rather rushing to prejudice the process of investigation. People are not guilty. We're already, preparing the minds of the process to let it look like they are actually guilty by the way we're presenting the cases by the process that is being held by the Attorney General. To be fair to the other side of governance, is that how they see it anyway? But do you think that it is fair to also hear them on how they think the government is presenting cases?
Oh, that's how we've always done our politics. It's to be expected. NDC in opposition did the same. That's what MPP is also doing. But there's some value in it. The value in what Jerry Shaibu is doing is that at the same time, he's just cautioning us as citizens that we should be careful that we are not deceived. We should be careful that we are not deceived. So to that extent, grant him. That's what they all do. And it's not only in Ghana. That's what, at least, I've watched a bit of UK politics. I've watched a bit of American politics. That's how they do it. So we, as citizens, those of us in the middle, we have to be vigilant that they don't hoodwink us. But it should continue. Let him, the culture of silence, the one we've been on, that we don't want that in Ghana. We don't want any culture of silence. There's always value in the noise. Trust me, Annie, that one day, let's not make a mistake. No matter how stupid, excuse my language, some utterances may sound, there is always value. The value is that the opponent is crying. So you know that the more he disturbs, your opponents disturb you, even when you think you are doing something well, it causes you to rethink, what can I do to make it better, to shut them up?
Okay.
So there is always value in the noise that opposition make. Anybody who tells you that, oh, they should keep quiet, they're just doing it because they know they are guilty, etc. Oh, well, it's possible. But I'm also saying that there is always value in the noise that opposition people make. Because if not for anything at all, it just causes you to think and want to do things better to shut them up. Yes.
So the thriller in Manila, as you put it, we're ending the interview, but do you think that this thriller is on its path of satisfying the cause as started by oral? Because we know that, at least with the details giving about Kwabena Edubuahin, it was led by Raymond Acha, who was or is a team member of oral, and obviously some of you may still be holding some of the information you have, or recently you also spoke to me about the Ghana Bauxite Company sale and all that. Are you continuously leading the Attorney General to expose some of the issues that you were not able to lay before, or included in the bulk of information you submitted to the Attorney General?
Oh, definitely. As citizens, when we see anything new, we are compelled by law to forward to him. But we are not leading him. We are supplying him information. Then he would choose. Because you would also soon find that it may not be possible to prosecute all the cases. Yes. Looking at our current manpower limitations, etc. So we supply the information and then he would choose. Yes, because once our numbers went out on the oral committee, etc., people continuously bring information, bring tips. So when that happens, we have to pass on to the Attorney General. And it's good Raymond Acha led this investigation. The Attorney General, that's the Kwabena Edubuahin matter. Yes, he says it's Raymond Acha's investigations, right?
Yes.
And then he mentioned that the NSS one, or the NSA, National Service Scheme Scandal, or National Service Authority. Now, that one came from the ORA. So it's good. So you see that ORA is bringing some benefit. So it's good. I always said it from day one. You remember people were saying ORA is not useful. I said no. If not for anything at all, it brought citizen participation. And that's very, very good, because you need your citizens. Look, in any country, your number one asset is your citizenry. If you don't have citizens, you don't have a country. So the more your citizens are engaged, are more engaged with you, participatory democracy, then the more you're likely to make progress. Than when the citizens check out and say, oh, don't mind them, they are the same, oh, nothing will come out, oh, nothing. No. So it tells you that we are on we are on a roll. We are on a roll. There will be more successes. So let's all commit together to help the government, but let's also keep our eyes opened that it's not everything that we will support hook, line, and sinker if we don't think it is right.
Before I let you go, so the Attorney General has also cautioned, I won't say threat, but has cautioned that any suspect on the list behaving like Kwabena Dubois will find themselves in the situation that Kwabena Dubois finds himself. Is that legally correct? Is it right? The minority has already criticized that what was done was illegal and unfair. I mean, with all the words that you can use to describe it, but legally, educate us on it.
Yes. So the Attorney General, the Attorney General in our Constitution is the #1 law enforcement officer. Let's repeat. From the architecture of our Constitution, the Attorney General, Article 88, when it tells you that all prosecutions shall be in the name of the Attorney General, okay? And also when you are suing government, it's in the name of Attorney General. These ones, the meaning of it is that the Attorney General is the #1 law enforcement agent. He's the first person, then the rest follow. Of course, naturally, we are not saying the rest are not important, but what I mean is that in the Constitution, it's no way there's some will even tell the office. The Attorney General is to ensure that there are prosecutions, and then the civil cases saying you go against the Attorney General. Yes, so when the leader gives a caution like this, it's good. It's just warn you and I, Annie. You and I, that's Annie, we are sitting here. Tomorrow, if somebody comes to give you 200,000 Ghana cedis, when you don't think you've done any work, then you should be asking, who is the person? What work does he do? Is it government? Is he a government official? You're like, hey, it's how much is your pay that you want to give a gift of this?
Yes, because the Attorney General gave some details. It says that the Dubois and his wife use the money, NSB money, to buy a series of estate houses between 2020 to the exit of MPP from power. They bought over 37 houses in their names. Location, these properties are Teshin, Oyarefa, and London. The details continues.
Excellent. So that's what we're saying. So when you see plenty money coming from somebody whose salary cannot buy those properties, then we should be careful. We should ask questions. It's not anything at all that we should take. So even if you're a seller, then this is also a caution to the banks. I think that's the other side that is not being properly brought out. The banks.
Yeah.
That did they see that this money looked well beyond the salary of a Dubois?
Yes, but I don't know if you were able to watch that side. He has sent a caution to the banks. Yes, saying that they should not transfer any money associated with either the wife or Dubois' accounts. Yes, I heard that side. So that's good. That's good. So even under our laws, even without his caution, they were supposed to know that, because when you're even opening an account, the banks have dealt with, they will ask you how much is expected to go through this account, meaning that generally you should know the kind of business you are running. What are your revenues? Or even if it is fresh, what's your expectation? Then they note. So that the moment it's going beyond that, they'll be asking you questions. If you can't answer, then straight away, they will file the suspicious transaction report to the FIC, the Financial Intelligence Center. Then they will go through blah, blah, blah. Then, so these things happen. These things, we already have them in our laws. Yeah, but we all don't like banks that ask too many questions, right? But with what the Attorney General is saying, he's asking the banks to ask more questions. Yes. All right. I'm not sure if you want to, comment on the BOG raid. He cited the fact that his house was visited in 2017 with fully armed men. He didn't make noise about it and did not describe it as raid. So he does not understand why, in this current situation, we are jumping into conclusion and describing it as raid. It's legally done, is allowed. If there are any suspicions, the Attorney General is rightfully, the intelligence agencies are right, to issue the legal authority for suspects' homes to be searched.
Oh, the Dr. Ini said he doesn't understand why the media are using the word raid. Oh, well, I didn't hear that side, so I'm not responding to him directly, but let me comment on it, right? Nowadays, in the last 5 months, I've been compelled to, because of some work that I'm doing, I like to watch a bit of British media, and I can see headlines. Oh, the tax raid, in the North Sea, there's been this new tax that they brought, the oil and gas companies in the UK. So you see the headlines, tax raid, tax raid. Oh, they use it every day there. So no, I didn't hear Dr. Ayini, so I'm not responding to him, but I'm giving education that please let's slow down on criticizing the use of the word raid. We should remember that the media do their work in such a manner as to try to get results, impact.
Okay.
So sometimes they use harsher words to prick our conscience. So I don't see anything wrong with the word raid, at least from what I've watched on the British media. I see raid almost every week. I see something raid or something on Sky News. So no, I'm not one to complain about the word raid.
Right. Senior private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu, thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
You're welcome.
Right. So that's Martin Kpebu, a member of our team, and giving us his legal analysis. But I think the top advice is that His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama must speak now, activate all constitutional provisions, and if possible, set up a commission of inquiry, to avoid this going at each other as far as this investigation is concerned, right? All right.